what is wrong with this world. I really, really want to know what the hell is wrong with this world. I feel like this whole world is just cursed and everyone here is disgusting. Social services is about protecting kids. It's about protecting kids. You've got a child who doesn't have a father because he's died, and you've got a mother who I don't want to comment on, who I'm trying to be so respectful towards, but I don't know if she can look after a child. My mum is very mad in many ways and doesn't have appropriate home. You've got an auntie who has appropriate home, and yet the social services. And a sister who is actually God. Like literally, I am God in human form. I live outside the timeline. I know the beginning from the end, or at least I knew the beginning from the end when I'm not in a body. I literally have so much evidence that I'm Christ that I've got a big, long evidence list of proof of all the things that my higher self has done to try and point to me, to help me to prove that I'm Christ. And I've got social services that are refusing to talk to me based on a 1-hour conversation by a bitch, that's the only way to call her, who has just said she doubts that I have the ability to look after a kid or to grow or to adapt to his changing needs, or it's really, really disgusting. And I've spoken to her boss. She seemed nice and said everything was correct, and this woman admitted in this thing that she didn't ask me about the risk to an unborn baby. And still she kept it. Like, I get to keep. I wasn't so bothered that she was kept it back then, because I guess I thought Sophie was going to come and live with me. I still thought Sophie was going to do a good job. And yeah, I don't. After the child was born, it was like, yeah, that's. So I wasn't initially angry that this report wasn't. Like, this report needs to be scrapped. It needs to be scrapped. And I would say that you could do another one, but I just don't see the point. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I obviously know how to look after a child, I've obviously got an appropriate home for a child, and if the child gets taken off Sophie, the social services should be on my side, and now they're not talking to me, and it's just like, I mean, I believe that I'm Christ ever since 2013, and I believe that there's a whole group of people, the Illuminati they're called or whatever, who know, and they're completely ignoring me, and so maybe they don't understand the stress that something like this would cause someone. It's not just a case of, oh, it's fine, it will work out. No, I don't work like that. I'm bored, and I want to know. I don't want to wait another 2 months. I just, yeah, the child is with the mother, and she's going to be in a program for 2 months, and I'm getting highly stressed at the thought that whenever this court case is, that I'm not going to be considered a possibility. And it's strange though, because if I do get onto Big Brother in October, then I don't really know what's the chance. But then again, I don't really know that I'm going to be on that show. So I just, yeah, try not to get stressed. But yeah, it's one thing to say that someone or they think someone lacks the ability to safeguard a child based on I don't know, maybe they've got a history of dating abusive men, maybe they've got a history of drug abuse, maybe they've got to look at someone's history and to say, oh well, they've had a drug addiction, they've got this, oh yeah, well I think she lacks the ability to keep the child safe because she can't keep her own self safe. To say something like that is fine. But to say that someone lacks the ability, why? I'm furious about this form, and social services aren't talking to me, and I know that I shouldn't even get too bothered about it, because yeah, it's just that it's like the social services aren't going to help me. If Ian has turned against me, he could easily go to the courts and say, oh, she thinks she's Christ, she's obviously mad, and the court will probably take his side, because people aren't Christ on earth. There's only one Christ in the whole universe according to Christianity, and oh, that's a guy who died 2,000 years ago, and because I'm not the guy who died 2,000 years ago, the chance of me being it would be zero on so many levels, on so many people's beliefs. You know, there's so many people who would would just hear this. Oh, she thinks she's Christ. Oh, Ian, the social worker, thinks that she's a man and obviously can't look after children. Well, oh, she's obviously mad and she can't look after children because she thinks she's Christ. You know, some people, so many people would just take such small evidence to back things up, and they will just believe it. And it's, I need to not get stressed about it because, yeah, at the end of the day, it's not my child, and it's and yeah, I shouldn't get stressed because yes, I'm. I went to Leicester yesterday, and I had a good time. It was nice. It was a horrible hotel, but it was actually really nice considering I just went for the cheapest thing. And then I did the spa. The Valentine spa was really nice. I spent like four hours the second day, and then like 2 hours, an hour and a half the first day. So that's my plan. My plan to try and cheer myself up is to go on to lots of holidays. I'm going to Bognor Regis next week, but of course I'm only going to be allowed to see the child for 1 hour because I'm the Antichrist, and George and the social worker doesn't want the Antichrist to get her hands on another child. Ha ha ha! Because I'm going to turn him against Jesus. Ooh. But yes, I don't know if that's a standard practice or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to Bognor Regis. I'm going to enjoy it because they've got a nice pool, they've got beach. It's going to be raining throughout most of the week though, so I'm probably not going to be doing too much. But they do have a spa in there as well, and I'm going to chill out, and I'm going to try and just, that's what my plan is. I'm a member of Valentine Gym, so I'm going to go all around the country and just go to all the different Valentines and check them out and compare them. There is some Valentines down in the south, but they're in a higher tier, so I won't actually be able to do those two. I mean, I'd have to pay £25 to go in, and well, that's how much the spa in the Bognor Regis in the Butlins camp is. So, but yes. It's not going to bother me that I can only see the child for an hour. Yes, no, it is going to bother me that I can only see the child for an hour. But yes. Oh, and he's banned me from entering the facility because he thinks, oh, cool. I think Sophie thinks that he thinks that I'm going to make videos to try and make her look bad. I mean, hello. The only reason why I was making videos to make her look bad before is because he had judged me as someone who's not safe around the child, and has judged my mum as being someone who was safe around the child. And therefore, I needed to prove that he is completely doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't know what he's talking about, because he had put this child in so much danger by leaving the baby with them. And I needed to get the evidence to prove it. But yeah, now that she's in a centre where I believe that they're doing a good job. There's 15 staff members, two parents with babies, and yeah, I'm pretty certain that they're going to do a better job than me because there's so many of them. So yes, there is no need to take incriminating video clips of that. And if Ian doesn't understand that the only reason why I made those incriminating videos against Sophie was to prove that the baby was not safe there. If he thinks that I did that only to hurt Sophie or for some prejudiced reason, no, I did it because I was genuinely concerned about what was happening, and I needed to have the proof and show what I was seeing. And I don't know, to feel like why he should be angry over that. I'm protecting the child, and you're angry that I'm trying to protect the child by getting evidence that the child is not safe where he is. I mean, to be angry at that, I think just shows that his anger has got nothing to do with me protecting the child. Well, it's me proving his job is he's not doing a good job as well. He's probably angry at that. But yes, whatever. I am going to focus on just living my life, and yes, I really hope that I get onto Big Brother this year. But yeah, it is true that if I go onto Big Brother, I'm going to go to America, and if I go to America, England's too cold. I might be here during the summer and stuff, but yeah, I don't know what will happen in those situations because, I don't think the child should live with Sophie, but I do think she's safe around the child just for a short period of time. And when the child's head is not so floppy, I think it would be a lot easier when it comes to a child when he's 3 or 4. I'm sure Sophie, should spend time. So, for these reasons, I feel like my mum might be a better option. She needs to tidy up her house, and she needs to probably get proper counselling. And I think even if the child is with my mum, she probably does need someone, a mental health visitor or something, like that. But yeah, I want what's best for the child, and if I'm going to be going to America, then technically this child can't even come with me. I think the main reason why I'm angry about that report that's made against me is because I want a child, and for someone to write all these things when they want a child, it's like she's just cold. It's like she's cold and heartless, and probably doesn't. I bet that is the only reason why she did it, because she thinks, yeah, I don't really want a child, so why would they want any child? Anyone who could not see how, if someone says that they really want a child, and they are happy to write such a report that's negative about them, it's almost like they don't see the joy in a child. They don't see why someone would want a child. They don't think that someone would be angry over insulting their ability to look after a child. And if they actually want a child, I'm not like this woman. I'm not a heartless cow that is happy to just bitch about people and say things that aren't true and say things that are highly offensive to them. Looking after a child is actually one of the most important things you can do in life. And then for her to say all this stuff is is so hurtful. And I think that this woman is cold and heartless, and probably doesn't have the same feelings towards children. So she kind of can't understand why I would have a desire to want to look after someone else's child. That's maybe what she thought. Oh, this is her sister's child. She doesn't really like her sister. She probably has no desire to have a child. And people write things because it relates to them, I think. And yeah, I think that whoever's written, whatever type of person she is, I think it's a reflection more on how she feels towards children. Um, I don't think she felt protective over the child. I didn't feel that she was really caring about, the child's best interest. I think she saw the child as a job, and she was just being hurtful towards me because she didn't realize that she was being very hurtful. Everything that she was saying would be very hurtful.